What's up, everybody? WiseGuyBets here with some DFS picks for 9/2/2021. It's a Thursday. We're looking at the DraftKings main slate. We got 5 games on the slate, small slate, so you got to really make every pick count. And small slates, I don't go too heavy. I usually knock my bankroll down for the day to probably 1 or 2% of my bankroll. I don't go too heavy on small slates like this. So let's get right into it. Let's look at the pitcher position. At pitcher, I'm looking at Tristan McKinney for Cleveland. His projection on the night is 20.2 fantasy points. He has a ERA of 4.83. He's pitching around 4.8 innings per game. He's averaging 14 over 19 games. He's been hot on his last 3, though, 16, 43, and 32. He's 9,300 on DraftKings. The Kansas City's batting 143 against him, 8 of 56. Kansas City's not a good team. His last 5 against Kansas City's been 28, 17, 13, 22, 33. So for 9,300, I got to get Tristan McKinney in my lineup at the pitcher position. Let's look at the catcher position. At catcher, I'm looking at the Chicago Cubs catcher, Robinson Chirinos. His projection on night is 7.6 fantasy points. He's batting 253 on the season. He's only getting around 2.1 at bats per game. He's averaging 5 fantasy points over 35 games. His last 3 has been 9, 7, and 12. He's 3,200 on DraftKings going against Pittsburgh. His last 5 against Pittsburgh, 0, 0, 7, 2, and 5. His last 5 overall has been 0, 9, 9, 7, and 12. So he's averaging over 7 fantasy points in his last 4 games. His projection tonight is 7.6. At 3,200, if he reaches his projection of 7.6, I'm very happy. So Robinson, I'm going to get him in my lineup tonight at the catcher position. Let's look at the first base position. At first base, I'm looking at Freddie Freeman. He's the highest rated at that position tonight on Draft Dashboard. His projection for the night is 9.6 fantasy points. He has 28 homers on the season, batting 294. He's getting around 3.8 at bats per game. He's averaging 9 fantasy points over 131 games. His last 3 has been 14, 0, and 3. He's 5,900 on DraftKings. I love this run total. The projected run total, 12.5. If all that holds true, Freddie Freeman can come to the plate, 5 or 6 times maybe. His last 3 against Colorado has been 12, 2, 16, 23, and 7. So I like Freddie Freeman in his position tonight. Not facing a good team, not facing a good pitcher. He's definitely going into my lineup tonight. Let's look at the second base position. At second base, we're looking at Brandon Lowe for Tampa Bay. His projection on the night is 9.1 fantasy points. He has 31 homers on the season. He's batting 232. He's getting around 3.6 at bats per game. He's averaging 9 fantasy points over 125 games. His last 3 has been 25, 0, and 0, coming off a double 0. Probably guarantee he will not get another 0 tonight. His salary is $5,200. He's 4 of 13 against the pitcher. He's facing 1 single, 3 home runs. So out of the 4 hits against the Boston pitcher, he has 3 home runs. I like those numbers. Again, his last 5 against Boston is 14, 9, 25, and 2 zeros. So hopefully he can get a little bounce back game tonight. Those 2 zeros are coming in consecutive days, which was yesterday's game and the day before that. So Brandon Lowe is someone I want to try to get into my lineup tonight at the second base position. Let's look at the third base position. At third base, I'm looking at Diaz for Tampa Bay, another player from this Tampa Bay-Boston game. His projection on that is 8.6 fantasy points. I'm sorry, 8.7 fantasy points. He's batting 256. He's getting around 3.5 at bats per game. He's averaging 7 over 109 games. His last 3 has been 7, 13, 0. I like players coming off of 0. He's 4,300 on DraftKings. He's 8 for 14 against the pitcher he's facing, batting 571, 7 singles, 1 double. His last 5 against Boston has been 3, 9, 7, 13, and 0. So he's coming off a 0 in last night's game against Boston. I expect him to do better. I expect him to reach that 8.7 projection of fantasy points for the night. So Yandy Diaz is someone I want to try to get into my lineups at the third base position. Let's look at the shortstop position. At shortstop, I'm looking at Trevor Story for Colorado. His projection on that is 9.2 fantasy points. He's batting .247. He's getting around 3.7 at bats per game. He's averaging 8 fantasy points over 117 games. His last 3 has been 32 and 9. He's 5,500 on DraftKings. His last 5 against Atlanta has been 2, 21, 18, 12, and 14, which is very well. So Trevor Story is someone I'm going to try to get into my lineups tonight at the shortstop position. Let's look at the outfield. In the outfield, I'm looking at Duvall, Atlanta, another player from this Atlanta-Colorado games with a very high run total of 12.5. His projection tonight is 7.4 fantasy points. He has 29 homers on the season. He's batting .223. He's getting around 3.5 at bats per game. He's averaging 8 fantasy points over 119 games. His last 3 has been 17, 0, and 3. He's 4,600 on DraftKings. He's 1 for 3 against the pitcher he's facing with 1 home run. His last 5 against Colorado has been 5, 0, 16, 10, and 16. I like that. I like his past performance against Colorado. I think he has a slight advantage of a 9% advantage against the pitcher he's facing tonight. I like this game. You know, this game has a very high projected run total. It means players can come to the plate probably 1 more at bat than they usually get. So that works for me. So Duvall is someone I'm trying to get in my lineup tonight in the outfield. So those are my picks. If my picks help you, go ahead and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Hope you learned something from this video. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.